Okay, hear me out. Maybe you've been playing for a while, right? And maybe you feel like you've been doing the same things over and over and you're not actually getting results out of your practice session. Now, if this sounds familiar, then it means that there's something wrong that you're doing, or more specifically, it means that you're practicing the wrong things. Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why you've probably been practicing guitar wrong the whole time. Now, before we start, as always, make sure you check the free training in the description. 45 minutes masterclass on modern guitar techniques. You definitely don't wanna miss out on that, so check it out. But let's actually get straight to the point here. The title is obviously sort of provocatory. However, if you feel like you've been wasting time lately with your practice sessions, if you feel like you're not getting any progress, that is maybe because you've been focusing on the wrong things. And I see this in a lot of students that come to me. So they have all of these, exercises and technique. Some of them really have really great technique, but they don't know what to do with it, or maybe they still feel sort of stuck in the same place, playing the same things over and over without really getting any music out of it. And this is actually the point. I think too many people spend too much time on exercises and technique stuff without actually worrying about building vocabulary, building musicality and things like that. So here's where I think the problem is. People just don't spend enough time working on songs. And I mean learning songs from other people, learning riffs, solos, anything really. But you need to learn from other people. You need to build a vocabulary if you want to play any music style. Like let's say you want to play prog, right? Great. Just go ahead and learn 100 prog songs, and I guarantee you that after that you'll be able to play effortlessly. You'll be able to even come up with your own things, or at least sound musical when you play. That's because you've incorporated the vocabulary of that genre, and the only way to do that is by learning a lot of songs and a lot of riffs, a lot of techniques from other people first, and then you can turn that input into your own output. But you gotta start somewhere, right? So if you're just spending time working on licks, working on exercises, like that's cool, you're building technique, that's fine. But if you just do that for forever, you're never gonna get there. You're never gonna get to the point of actually making music with these things. And that's when most people are gonna feel stuck. They're gonna feel like their playing is just stagnating in the same place. They basically are in a rut with their guitar playing. And so there you have it. That's reason number 1, and it is the main reason, the most important reason why you should actually start learning songs. And I mean a lot of songs from start to finish, and play them over and over, starting from right now. Reason number 2, that's simply technique. You build technique in the most efficient way possible, I think. Like if I look back on my own playing, the only really exercise that I did was learning riffs and learning complex songs or complex licks from other people. And that sort of acted like an exercise for me, just because I was focused on getting to play whatever lick or passage from a song I had. Basically just tried to play it as clean as possible. And most of the time I was focusing on things that were way ahead my current level at that point. That really pushed me on building technique and developing my technique into kind of the direction that I wanted. But it was really just learning songs. I didn't really do any other like warm-up or exercise or like anything really. Like for me it was just about being able to play that passage, whatever that was. And if it was technical, if it was a complex passage, then basically, that would become an exercise for me. And then I would just practice that specific thing, that passage, basically until I was able to play it right. And that is basically all I did. And that is basically, I think, the main aspect that really pushed my technique and really pushed me to build technique on guitar. I like to develop technique and sort of like approach complex things and even more complex things as time passed. So yeah, that's reason number 2 for you. And then the reason number 3 is because you're gonna have a very, very precise goal for your guitar playing. And that's really key when you're practicing guitar. You wanna set really clear goals. Otherwise, it's very difficult to keep track of progress, and it's very difficult to, stay motivated and make sure you're going in the right direction when you practice. So when you have a song that that is from someone else, it's very clear whether you're able to play it or not. So it's a very clear meter on how much progress and how much work you're putting into the instrument. So I feel like for me it's always been very motivating trying to play, trying to be able to play a song from start to finish every time, and then work on the performance of that tune. It sort of was, I think, a really good way of actually working on performing music, playing music, instead of just practicing and doing exercises. So that's really key, and probably one of the most useful things you can do for your own guitar playing right now. So I really want you to try this. Set aside all the exercises that maybe you've been doing for a while at this point. I want you to pick one song, or even more than that, but let's start with one, and I want you to learn it from start to finish, and I want you to play it start to finish, and it has to be exactly like the original. Like, you should actually focus on copying the original, whatever artist or whatever song that is, but it should be the exact same copy, or trying to get as close as possible to the original. It is going to give you the skills and the technique to play that song, and then when you approach another song, then that's even more techniques that you're taking in, and then you do that, you multiply that for 100, for 1,000 times for different songs and different artists, and you basically have a very big vocabulary of techniques and songs that you've pulled from many different people, and that becomes your guitar playing in essence.